Old Grandpa lay in his bed surrounded by his grandchildren. They were sad because they knew Grandpa was going to be leaving them soon. But he gathered them to him closely and he said, "Don't be sad, children. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young man walking down the road and he saw this man lying on the road all wounded and hurt. So the young man went and helped pick up the wounded man and he said, 'What happened?' And the wounded man said, 'I was attacked by someone who thought he could beat me, and he did. He didn't want to accept his fate.' So the young man helped the wounded man stand up and wiped him off and pulled out a kerchief and cleaned up some of his wounds. And the wounded man said, 'Thank you, son. You don't know who I am, but I am Death.' The young man stepped back and looked at him with fear. And Death said, 'Don't be afraid. It's not your time yet. And because you were so kind to me, when it gets to be your time, I will send you signs so you will be prepared.' So Death went on his way, and the young man went on his way, and he had a good life. He worked hard, married, had children, and had grandchildren. But one night, he felt a tapping on his window, and he looked up, and there was Death. And he said, 'I thought you said you were going to warn me before you came.' And Death said, 'Well, I did. What do you think all that sickness was? The heart attack, going blind and losing your hearing. You can't even walk. Those were the signs.' Well, that old man asked Death to just give him one more day so he could say goodbye to his grandchildren. The old man gathered his grandchildren around them and hugged them all and gave them a kiss. And he said, 'Now it's time for me to go.' So that's a story to tell the young ones and the old ones to be aware of those signs and be ready to meet your ultimate wonder. Come back later on for another story. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe below. You will be filled with joy and lovely stories.